March 8, 2014, Kuala Lumpur International Airport. In exactly 42 minutes, 239 people will board a plane and vanish into thin air. This is the story of Flight MH370, the greatest aviation mystery in human history. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah arrives at the airport at 10:50 p.m., 53 years old, 18,000 flight hours. Tonight, he's flying a Boeing 777-200ER, one of the safest aircraft ever built. 2 engines, multiple backup systems, a perfect safety record. This particular aircraft, registration 9M-MRO, has been flying for 12 years without a serious incident. His co-pilot tonight is Fariq Abdul Hamid, 27 years old. This is his final training flight before being certified as a full 777 pilot. At 11:15 p.m., passengers begin boarding. 152 Chinese citizens, 50 Malaysians, 7 Indonesians, 6 Australians, citizens from 14 nations in total, each with a story. Among them, 63-year-old Liu Rusheng, returning from a successful business trip. 29-year-old Norli Akmar, heading to Beijing for her first international work assignment. 2-year-old Wang Moheng, the youngest passenger, sleeps in his father's arms. His parents are taking him to Beijing for medical treatment. They've sold everything they own to afford this trip. But this chance at saving their son's life. At 12:41 a.m., MH370 pushes back from gate C1. The weather is perfect. 12:50 a.m. Malaysian 370, you are cleared for takeoff. Have a safe flight. The Boeing 777 accelerates down runway 32R. V1, the point of no return. V2, rotation speed. For the next 38 minutes, everything is routine. The plane climbs to 35,000 feet. At 1:07 a.m., Malaysian Air Traffic Control, Malaysian 370, maintain flight level 350. Captain Zahari responds, flight level 350, Malaysian 370, time to hand over to Vietnamese airspace. This happens thousands of times every day. A simple radio frequency change. The Malaysian controller gives the instruction at about 1:20 a.m., the response that will haunt investigators for years. Goodnight, Malaysian 370. Not the standard phraseology. Should have been Goodnight, Malaysia 370. A tiny deviation. At 1:20 a.m., MH370's transponder goes dark. A transponder is an aircraft's voice to the world. It broadcasts identity, altitude, speed, position. Without it, a Boeing 777 becomes a ghost. Vietnamese controllers wait. They call Malaysian controllers. Where is your aircraft? Confusion. Phone calls, more radio attempts. Silence. For 4 hours. 4 critical hours, nobody raises the alarm. Controllers assume the plane is someone else's problem. It must have landed somewhere. It must have diverted. It must be somewhere. But MH370 isn't where it should be. Because at the moment its transponder died, someone in that cockpit executed a turn. A precise, deliberate turn. The aircraft banks sharply left. 40 degrees, it reverses course. Back across Malaysia. But military radar tells a different story than civilian controllers knew that night. After vanishing from civilian screens, MH370 flew back across Malaysia, past Penang, up the Strait of Malacca. It skirted the edges of Thai airspace, careful not to cross borders that might trigger military response. The plane flew for 6 more hours. 6 hours after everyone thought it had crashed. But here's what chills investigators. The turns were precise, professional. Someone with intimate knowledge of Southeast Asian airspace was flying. Someone who knew every radar installation, every blind spot, every procedural gap. At 2:25 a.m., MH370 passes the last Malaysian military radar station. Then it turns south, into the vast emptiness of the Indian Ocean. Nobody knew this at the time, but MH370 was still talking. Not to air traffic control, but to a satellite floating 22,000 miles above the Indian Ocean. Every hour, the satellite sent a digital handshake. A simple question, are you there? And every hour, MH370's systems responded, yes. 2:25 a.m., handshake. 3:41 a.m., handshake. 4:41 a.m., handshake. 5:41 a.m., handshake. 6:41 a.m., handshake. 7:41 a.m., handshake. Then at 8:19 a.m., something different. An unexpected partial handshake. The kind of signal an aircraft sends when it's powering back up after losing power. The engines had run out of fuel. The plane was falling. 8:20 a.m. Silence. Forever. The mathematics are staggering. The Indian Ocean covers 27 million square miles. A MH370 could be anywhere along a 3,000-mile arc. The seafloor here isn't flat. It's a landscape of underwater mountains, valleys, trenches 6 miles deep, places where pressure crushes steel, where sunlight has never reached, where the temperature hovers just above freezing. 26 nations join the search. Military vessels, research ships, submarines, aircraft flying grid patterns day after day. They're looking for a needle in a haystack. But the truth is more terrifying than any conspiracy. Nobody knows anything. July 29, 2015, Reunion Island. A beach cleaner finds something, a piece of aircraft wing, battered by 16 months in the ocean. The serial number is checked, not once but over 4 times. It is from MH370. The first physical proof the plane crashed into the ocean. Over the following years, 33 pieces were washed ashore. Madagascar, Mozambique, South Africa, each one examined, tested, analyzed. They tell a story. The flaperon was extended. Someone was controlling the descent. The oxygen masks were never deployed. Passengers were likely unconscious. The damage pattern suggests a high-speed impact with water, but they don't tell us why, or exactly where, or who is in control. The official search ended in 2017. 120,000 square kilometers of seafloor was mapped. But they didn't find MH370. Ocean Infinity searched again in 2018. No cure, no fee. They found nothing. But the search continues. The last 48 hours that changed aviation forever. 239 people vanished. The youngest was 23 months old. The oldest was 79. They spoke different languages, practiced different religions, came from different worlds, but they shared the same fate. Somewhere in the Indian Ocean, in darkness deeper than space, they rest.